We have Miss Zena Pearcy here with us. Ms. Zena Pearcy is the Newsline coordinator for NFB of Louisiana. She is also the receptionist at the Louisiana Center for the Blind. Zena has been a patron of Newsline from the first year it began. She worked in Texas as the local content manager for 6 years. Upon moving back to Ruston, she became the coordinator of Newsline. All right, Ms. Zena.
Okay, I'm happy to be here and talk about Newsline. I'm very passionate about it. I love Newsline, and have been very involved in using it ever since it came out in the early 90s. What Newsline is it is an audio information service. It's free to all the users who use it. It's for people who are visually impaired or have some sort of print disability that keeps them from being able to read newspapers. And that's what it started with, was newspapers. But it has a lot of other things. It features over 400 publications, and those include national, international, state, breaking news, online stuff, magazines, as well as emergency weather alerts and forecasts. It also has special sections just of interest to blind people, like ACB's Braille Forum and NFB's, I'm sorry, ours is the Braille Forum, and there's the Mirror, whatever, I can't remember. Anyway, I'm going to talk about real briefly about some of the things you can do with it, and then we'll get to what I really like is the newspapers. But you also can use it to look for a job. It has over 100,000 job listings. Those are job listings all over America. You can set the job listing feature up to where it searches only in the area that you tell it, like in a 50-mile radius around you, or a 20-mile radius, or you can tell it that you don't care where it is, you'll move anywhere. And you can set it up to, every time you go in, give you jobs that are just specific to what you want to do. A very, very powerful feature. Newsline also has TV listings so that you can find out when different shows are on television. And that's very handy for us because I don't know of any other way to get those. So they're accessible. It also has retail ads for Target and Walmart. So one of my favorite things about Newsline is the newspapers. I read so many newspapers, and it would cost me my whole salary, probably my whole existence, to pay for all the newspapers if I had to, because I read all the time. So this week, just to show you some of the things you can find, this week in the Times-Picayune, I found that there's a bakery in the New Orleans area that does king cakes that are stuffed with apples and goat cheese, which surprised me, but I'm not from around here, so I thought that was very interesting, and it sounded really good to me. In the Alexandria Town Talk this week, they talked about a man who likes to, every year, he grows his grass in ryegrass, which is a real tall grass. It's real dense. If you've ever seen it, it's very plush. And so he uses ryegrass, and then he cuts shapes into his lawn. And his neighbors have come by for years. This has been a thing in his community for people to come by and see his lawn. This year, his designs are, he put a 2021 in the lawn. And he put the symbol for the COVID virus. I'm not sure what that looks like, but he did that. And then he put Joe Biden's initials in there. So, but all of his neighbors are always real excited about that. In the Baton Rouge Advocate this week, there was an article about Saint Corona. who was a patron saint for people who were involved in the plagues years, many centuries ago. And her celebration day is May 14th. In the Acadiana Advocate this week, they talked about how the crawfish harvest is this year and whether or not we're going to have enough crawfish to go around. It was very, very important. So let's see. But in the national news, I love to follow. I like to watch for different columns that come out, on a repeating basis. And one of them is the Boston Globe has one that's called Dinner with Cupid, and the Boston Globe pays for people to go on a blind date. And since COVID has hit, all their dates have been virtual, but it's really interesting to see what people write about their dates that they have, and whether or not they end up actually continuing dating that person. In the Arkansas Democrat Gazette, every day nearly, they have a column called Super Quiz, which is trivia, and I always check that one out. Each week, I have Newsline filter for me and give me email copies of many, many, many recipes. I collect recipes, so there's a lot of different food columns to follow. And then about how to use Newsline. Newsline, you can just use it on a regular phone. That's my favorite way because I'm older. And that's how I start. Hold on. Yeah. And so let's see. So you can use it on the phone, or you can use it on any device with iOS, the Apple platform. You can use it through NFB Newsline online website, and you can use it using Alexa. You can tell her, she's going to think I'm talking to her, but anyway, you can tell her to read Newsline to you. You can also set up your Victor stream to use Newsline and have just certain things. It doesn't do the whole program. You have to tell it what you want to see on your Victor stream. You can also get articles sent over to your NLS player, which is a pretty interesting way to do it. Now, the ways I can help people with Newsline is you can call me at the center, and I can set you up on Newsline. I can look up your credentials on Newsline if you've lost them. If you've been set up before but you've lost your codes, I can look those up for you, as long as your codes are in Louisiana. If they're not, you can call the office, and they can look them up for you in other states. Also, since I'm the coordinator, I have access to the area where we can add files. So you wanted to put up a newsletter that you had for your group, or you want to put out an announcement about something that's going on. As long as it's blindness related, we can put it up and find areas for it. Also, mostly blindness related, but like in Texas, we had an area where you could look up your representative for Congress and that sort of thing. So we can do all kinds of things like that. So if you have any suggestions, you want to add something to Newsline, or if you just need your codes, give me a call at the Louisiana Center. The number is 318-237. Sorry, I'm giving you my cell. It's 318 251-2891. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Zena. Hey guys, so if you are looking for closed captioning, you will have to allow that option at the bottom of your screen. If you're on a computer, you actually have to turn on your subtitles or view the view transcript. This one does not have a link, but it is on the bottom of the screens. All right, does anyone have any questions for Miss Zena? If you do, please raise your hand. For those that are on a house line or a not as smart as some people's phones, you can press *6 to mute or unmute at this time. Or you can use your computer and press Alt. Ooh, I'm so sorry. It is Alt A to mute or unmute. Well, Ms. Zena, it sounds like you did an excellent job of explaining what was going on with Newsline. Thank you so much for your presentation. I appreciate it very much.
Thanks for asking.
Of course. If you would like to stay on, just in case there are questions at the end, we do have one more guest speaker today with us. So if you wouldn't mind, Ms. Zena, you can hang on the line. And if you can come back on, if someone has a question at the very end, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Ms. Zena. All right, our next guest is from Christian Records, Miss Leanora Ruff. Miss Leanora, if you wouldn't mind unmuting your speaker while I read your bio. Miss Leanora Ruff is an author, speaker with messages of hope, helping others pursue excellence in their professional and personal lives. She served her community as a youth and women's ministry leader. In 2005, she achieved a Ph.D. in management and organizational leadership from Capella University. Even with the unexpected diagnosis of legal blindness in 2007, she continued to exemplify leadership as board chair at the Early Learning Center, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Leanora served as a Board of Trustees member at Christian Record Service for the Blind of Lincoln, Nebraska. Recently, she joined Christian Record Service staff. She is the PhoneFaith Advisory Committee Vice-chair. Leanora integrates Bible-based principles, management values, and leadership concepts in delivering messages of faith, hope, and trust to her audiences. Leanora's passion is to nurture and uplift the human spirit. Miss Leanora?
Yes.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we sure can. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for the invitation. I'm so delighted to be here with everyone. Well, I will share with you about PhoneFaith and Christian Record. You see, what is PhoneFaith? In 2011, Dr. Dexter Thomas, a pastor, an author, and keynote speaker, he realized and recognized that he was looking for some place to join for fellowship. Well, he wanted also to provide a platform where the blind community could experience regular relationships. As a result, he started a telephone ministry where everyone, he was in California at the time, where everyone could call in and join some programs. Dr. Thomas in 2012 invited me as a guest presenter at PhoneFaith. Then in 2014, he again invited me to take over the leadership of PhoneFaith as a program coordinator. Well, how is PhoneFaith fantastic? Or how was it translated to Christian Record Service? See, several of us at PhoneFaith and Christian Record Service had the longing to make PhoneFaith under the umbrella of Christian Record Service for the Blind. So in spring of 2020, PhoneFaith and its dedicated hosts and presenters joined the Christian Record Service family of free services to the blind. What is the impact? Well, it has tremendous growth since then. PhoneFaith did. A few short months, the blind community, because of COVID and the loneliness and the isolation, PhoneFaith seemed to be just the antidote for such experiences. I tell you, it has been a pleasure working with the PhoneFaith team. We have leadership and support, daily PhoneFaith dial-in programs to inform, encourage, and inspire the mind, body, and spirit through wellness, health and wellness programs, such as meet and greet interactions. Well, because of COVID, it's virtual meet and greet, Bible games, and intentional prayer time. How to connect to PhoneFaith? Well, you can do so one of two ways. You can dial 209-399-9465 between calls and get the entire schedule for the week. Or you can go to phonefaith.org and click on the number and you will be joined into the programs. We have, as a matter of fact, tonight there's a Bible trivia game at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Dial that number. Again, 209-399-9465. All right. I tell you. So what is Christian Record Service? Let me just give you a little bit of that. Christian Record Service for the Blind. In the late 1800s, a young man by the name of Austin Wilson, he discovered new Christian material. No Christian material was available. So he decided to start a program. And that is how Christian Record Service started in 1899. So it's been over 120 years that Christian Record Service has been in existence. All right. So Christian Record Service serves more than 18,000 people around the world through free services and programs. Christian Record Service offers materials in Braille, audio, and large print magazines, books, Bibles, and Bible study. Christian Record Service also has the whole person in mind through their programs, through camps, blind camps for blind children. Blind camps is a hot item. Impact, well, we might never know the impact, the full impact of how this is reaching individuals, but we know through their feedback that it has been impactful. So back to Christian Record Service. Here is a testimony from Kathleen. She said, you know, I haven't always went to church, but I didn't have a relationship with God. And PhoneFaith has changed my life, my spiritual life, tremendously. And here's one from Percy. Percy says, well, I think the idea of knowing that you can wake up and some mornings and find a place to fellowship is a great thing. And I enjoy it. To be with other people that are blind, and instead of being stuck behind the doors. He said, nowhere to go, but you can stay home or go out, it doesn't matter, and dial your phone and be in connection. We can go out today to a restaurant, to a church, or a family event or function and be alone. But on PhoneFaith, you are never alone. He said being on PhoneFaith has taught him how much about diabetes support. And he likes the teacher at that time, who was Lois, who gave very good personal information of how she dealt with her diabetes. So I would like to, he said again, he said, it's just fantastic. I'm proud to say that my church has a ministry for the blind. Learn more at www.christianrecord.org. How to connect again? Dial 402-488-0981, option 3, or leave a message at services@christianrecord.org. And that is how PhoneFaith and Christian Record came together. And that is how many blind individuals are connecting it nationally, because it's now a national platform to deal with loneliness, isolation, and the like.